Well, hello there, garden friends and green thumbs. Welcome back to the garden. It's our last week of school. It's June 1st. Everything's planted for a wonderful summer harvest, I hope. And so in today's video, I'm going to take you row by row to show you what's growing in our garden right now. I hope you've got a great garden where you're at, but I'm really proud of all the work we've been doing this year. We had a great winter harvest, had an amazing spring harvest of our potatoes. We'll show you that in a little bit. But we're very fortunate that right now, as we're coming into this last week of school, I think we only have just a few more days left. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. But we have a wonderful garden planted, and I'm going to show you all the different plants that we're growing right now. Some of the fruit trees that we have that are, that are starting to come into to maturity. The fruit is starting to ripen. Actually, I ate some nectarines, or I ate a nectarine yesterday. Blew my mind. But I'm going to show you what we got growing in our garden right now. So hang right with us. It's going to be a great little episode. So what summer garden is complete without some pumpkins? Right here we got the Atlantic Giants, the Big Macs, all taking up this space, and you can see we've actually just planted these. We direct seeded them. You can transplant pumpkin seedlings, but they grow so quickly and so happily when they're direct seeded. We actually have these ones probably planted only half the distance they really should. They need 10, 15, 20 feet apart. We gave them maybe like 8 to 10 in their rows, but they're really, you can see they're pretty close. They're gonna take up this whole area, but they're gonna go great. You can actually see them already starting to bloom, and in some cases we already have some pumpkins actually already formed up. So it's pretty exciting to see. You can see one right here. Here you go. You can see a little pumpkin right in there, already formed up, or coming at least. So I'm really excited to see these. I've only grown pumpkins in the school garden a few times, and never the giant ones, and we usually get a late start. So right now we've got a really early start, so I can't wait to see what they produce. We threw in some beans. We got some purple green beans in here, and they're gonna be fun, and they grow pretty quick. They're quick to harvest, and they're delicious, so I cannot wait. And of course, we're growing lots and lots of tomatoes. You can see here, these are all the Wild Boar Farm tomatoes. So they're a bunch of weird, really cool varieties that I cannot wait. And I mean weird in a great way, because they're interesting. Here, I'll show you what I mean. So this one's called Kryptonite. And this one's so delicious, you could even take out Superman. So pretty cool. They're not ripe just yet, but you can see the coloration already forming on there. I've got a hybrid system here where I'm using string and the tomato cages, which I did tongue-in-cheek just for fun, because I had the cages, and we were using the Florida weave system on the other ones. But you know what? It's actually working really well. The other day we had a really strong wind come through here, and I felt like this row handled the best. It didn't move, didn't budge. The tomatoes are all doing fine, so cannot wait for these. But this one's called Black Beauty down in here. You can see these ones are gonna have some great color too. So no tomatoes have harvested yet, but we're getting there. So you can see right here we've got habaneros formed up. So a big old hill, big old long row of habaneros. More tomatoes. We'll do a whole video on tomato growing and what varieties we have here. We'll definitely have to do a taste test. But you can see each tomato plant here, they're about 3 feet from center to center. We're stringing them up as they grow to kind of support them. But what's great about them is that each one we have out here, there are no duplicates except for one row. But most of these are all separate varieties. You got 6, 7 varieties to a row. It's pretty good. We're, I think, six varieties a row. So you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 rows right here of all different unique varieties. And so 4 times 6, what, 24 different varieties of tomato just in this screen that you can see right now. 24 different types of tomato. So I cannot wait to do a tasting. We did some basil interplanted here with seeds, but they haven't sprouted just yet. But you can see, look at they're coming. We've been fertilizing. Everything we do is all organics. We've been fertilizing with some chicken manure, some bat guano, some sea kelp, earthworm castings, all that good stuff. Mycorrhizal fungi in there. So you can see our eggplant are actually shooting up. They were getting so big so quick. I was like, you know what? Let me use some of these old cages. Oh my gosh, you know what? There might be one ready to harvest in here. I didn't even notice. Look at that one. Might have to get that one to Mr. A. I think he likes eggplant. But like, see, we got some different varieties coming. Of course, more peppers. These are pretty good right here. These 2 right here are padrones, but then which only 1 in 10 are spicy. Now these ones right here, you can see these are the Trinidad scorpions. They're like 2 million Scoville or whatever, so they will melt your face off if you eat an entire one. It'll melt your face. And then of course I think we have some more basic jalapenos forming in here. But so lots of peppers, both spicy and sweet. And then of course this row is actually all pineapple, what they call a heirloom tomato variety called pineapple, which like I said, we do a tasting video. You'll have to come back and visit us on the channel. And if you are here, so if you're still watching the video, please, thank you so much for being here, and hit that like button if you could. Dig right into it, because we'd love to dig. I would dig that. We got some cucumbers right here. So you can see this is where we had a lot of our potatoes. And I'll have to show you a little clip to show you. I'll insert it around here somewhere to show you how our tomato harvest went, because it was fantastic. I might have to do a standalone video for that. So in here we got some cucumber seedlings planted. Like I said, there's some basil that we just put down in here. Hasn't quite sprouted yet. We got more peppers, lots and lots of peppers, mixture of different varieties in there. I think we have a new variety of jalapeno called the New Mex Lemon Spice I'm looking forward to. And then actually this is going to be our other pumpkin patch. We got some edible pumpkins that we're going to be growing in here, some sugary ones that have very good flesh and good flavor, so we can make some goods with them in the fall. And here's an example of the basil when it does sprout. So I love growing basil out here in the garden, especially when it's warm and it's just going crazy. But what's really cool is, look at this, is a new pepper we're growing, and I want to show this off to you. Hopefully I can get a good image of it. But this is called the candy cane. And so this is a pepper, and they're sweet, they're not too spicy. And so it has stripes on there, and I haven't seen one go red yet because we keep eating them as they come off. But it's kind of cool because the fruit is variegated, and so is the plant. So you can see some of the leaves are white and have striping in there, especially this one right here. Look at this plant. I almost need to stake this one up. It's so top heavy. But look at all those peppers on there. Super delicious. I'm gonna bite it. Oh yeah, that's good. That's really crunchy. Kind of unique, like a thin-walled bell pepper. That'd be good. Okay, I hope you know what these are. More beans. We love our beans. And then look at these rows of bell pepper we have right here. So we grew up, like I said, we love spicy peppers, but we love our sweet peppers too, because most people kind of prefer them in a way, especially how much you're going to eat of them. So we got these last 2 rows of peppers are bell peppers, and you can see right here we've got them planted pretty densely. But what's great is that they're already producing, and around us our summers are so hot that if their fruit gets exposed to the hot direct sun, it tends to get burned. So you can see I have the plants kind of planted in such a way they're a little bit more densely. They're kind of 2 staggered rows that make up one big row, and they hopefully will shade each other and kind of protect each other from hours and hours of hot direct sun on each other's fruit. So we'll see how that goes, see if that pays off. And of course we got some beans. But what's great about our garden is we don't just have the inbound beds, we have fruit trees covered with fruits. You can see our apples are looking really good. This apple tree here we've had for a few years. We've actually grafted several varieties onto it, and it's doing great. And so you can see all these different apples formed up. It's awesome. As I look back, you can kind of see the garden in its entirety. You can see we got berries that we planted this year, some smooth thornless berries, some blackberries, boysenberries, raspberries, and they are going crazy already. We just planted them as little, small little starts about a couple months ago, and they are just cracking off. They're doing so well. And of course our blueberry shrubs are been phenomenal for us. Even though they're not the biggest ones, they're kind of getting there, and they're growing up, and we've actually already harvested a bit of ripe blueberries off them, and there's still more to come, which is great. And they've been delicious for us. All the fruit trees are looking up. The citrus trees are full of young fruit, and then all of our stone fruit trees are full of maturing fruit. So let me show you a quick close-up before we close things out, because the fruit trees are kind of where it's at. So right here, this is an aprium tree. This is an apricot and plum hybridized. It's a little more apricot than it is plum, called the cotton candy. And you can see that it's a pretty delicious looking fruit. They'll end up getting a little bit yellow with some pink red blush on there. And so you can see them starting to ripen. Pretty soon they'll be ready to pull off. And what's tricky about them is they are delicious, but once they're ripe, you got to get to them quick and either eat them fresh or do something with them, because they will all drop on the ground pretty quickly within a few days of them being ripe. So you really want to get on that. Our pluot tree to the left is looking really good. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at that beautiful fruit. So that's a plum and an apricot, but it's more plum than apricot. And these are probably one of my favorite things to eat out here. Let me take a bite of this one just to show you. Oh my gosh. So that is why it's so good. The skin is like tart candy. The flesh, so juicy. So delicious, so sweet. It's just absolutely incredible. Look at that. I can't tell you enough how delicious that is. That is incredible. But look at his neighbor too. It's another delicious tree. And these are the nectarines, and they are one of my other favorites. Sometimes you'll see some with white flesh or kind of like yellowy orange flesh. Just depends. I think that one's a white flesh, but they're just so delicious. We have more nectarine trees on our trees to come. You know, I tried to do a standalone video on just the fruit trees, but you can see this one's actually a plum. So you can see plums forming. You can see apricots forming all over this tree. And then there's actually a branch over on the other side that's a nectarine. So it's actually a 3-in-1, or maybe there might even be a peach over there too, a nectarine and a peach. So it's 4 different fruits all on one tree, been grafted together, which is kind of fun. You can see, oh, there you go, there's the nectarine. So that's fun stuff. Of course, the plum, our pears. You can see our pears are starting to form up. Oh, that's gonna be so cool. So cool. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. There's more work for me to get done out here in the garden. As you can see, all the fruit trees and the garden, everything is just kicking off this time of year. I really wish you the very best in your life and in your garden this season, and I hope you come back for more garden adventures. Until then, garden friends, happy gardening to you, and please never ever stop growing.